I think this is going to work. Let's hope. It seems to be. What else do I got here? Hi, everyone. As far as I know, I'm going to be able to be here, have the chat over here. So essentially what's going on today is a public... Hi, okay, we're live. As far as I know, this is just live on YouTube. And it is live on YouTube, I think. Should be good, but I've had a hell of a time.
Should be good.
Yeah, it looks like we're clear and we're open. Streaming in 1080 HD. Let's see, I'm going to pull my chat over here. Pull this over here. But I've had a hell of a time. Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, John? Hell of a time multi-streaming. I don't know what is going on, but ever since... So I switched over to Hardwire, which is great. So now instead of like 20, 30 megabytes up and down, I'm getting 900 up and down. I had to unlock and get rid of some software on my computer called... It was like the killer... Something sweet. Killer... You know, before I get too deep into this, I'm going to change some of these settings really quick. It was some company called Killer has like software that there we go. It's like router software that puts minimal like limitations on your router. So I couldn't go super fast, but I was getting like 4 megabytes up and I couldn't stream when I was plugged in. I had to go wireless and then it would be, I was limited. I could do like 720 streams and they were choppy. It was not very good. So I went in, I think it's an Intel thing. I went in and I uninstalled this Killer production suite or whatever it was called. Now I'm getting 800 megabytes up, 800 megabytes down. But while I was troubleshooting on this last night, you might have saw that I went live and was talking about, like, ranting about the debate. And here, let me switch this over while I'm talking here. And Twitch, YouTube shut out after like 8 minutes. Twitch, I stayed on for an hour, although it shut down and then went live again. Hello, everyone. I love you too. Thank you guys so much for coming. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're not already and like the video. Keep it going. I don't know the Mars Volta album. I don't know their albums. I just know a few of their songs. He's like, yeah, he's great. So after last night, I was like, fuck this. I'm not having my streams go down anymore in the middle of them. I can't stand this stuff locking up. So I wired in and I went and I troubleshooted for like 4 hours and found this Killer software that I uninstalled. So now I'm wired. That's the upside. The downside is now my multi-stream stopped working. It is so weird. I can go live on X and I can multi-stream on X, YouTube, and Twitch, but only X gets video if I'm multi-streaming. If I solo stream to YouTube, YouTube works. If I multi-stream to YouTube, YouTube doesn't work. And Twitch is just completely shit the bed. I don't know why, but Twitch is not working. So I was in uninstalling, reinstalling, unlinking, relinking. I got in touch with the Streamlabs chat, the help line on Streamlabs, and they were talking me through just point by point. They're like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Let's figure this out. 40 minutes. I was in there 30 minutes or something like that. We were working on it. And then they're like, all right, so now try this out. Log out of Streamlabs. Restart your computer. It was like I was putting it through, like opening up points. Hello there, Jay. Greetings, sir. So I unlocked like my virus protection program. I opened up Streamlabs, restarted my computer, and wanted to log back in to continue the chat with the guy. Streamlabs is telling me now that I've tried to log in too many times and I have a suspended account, so I can't continue the troubleshooting. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going live on YouTube. I'm just going live on YouTube. I'm only streaming on YouTube right now. But the upside is should be really clear 1080. So feel free to watch it in HD. And I think the stream's going to should be good. Audio is going to be great. I upped the kilobytes on my audio to 160 bit rate. I think it was at like 128 before. I upped the bit rate on my stream from like 2500 to 5600, so I'm putting forth tons of data. I tried Fallout 76 last night, and that was working fine, which is great because that was the thing that was like that aim before. Now it's like, looks like I can stream Fallout 76. I'm pretty pumped about what I'll be able to stream now. It's really opened up the possibilities of like, oh, and I've also switched over, so I'm encoding with my graphics card instead of with my central processing unit, my CPU. So it's pulling way less of a load on the computer, on the processor. So the processor is going to be able to work on the games while the GPU works on the encoding. And I think those are the main changes I made with the stream settings. I was like up 5 hours probably, literally, troubleshooting, trying stream after stream. I think I ran like 30 test streams or 40 test streams, all unlisted, just to like tweak it by 200 kilobits. Let's see what happens if I change this setting from medium to high, and then I bring down the preset back to low, and I'm like, well, what if I'm running it in 1080? What if I'm running it in 720? What if I'm running it in 1440? And they're like, you know what? Run your base resolution in 4K because that's what my monitor is, and then downscale it to 1080. It's way easier on a computer to downscale in half, so to go from, what was that, 2160 to 1080, that's like divided by 2, than it is to go from 2160 to 1440, or to go from 1440 to 1080, because then you're taking like percentages of the downscale, and it's harder on the CPU apparently. So just to go from 2160 to 1080 apparently is a lot easier on the computer. So I got my base scale in 4K. It's downscaled to the stream at 1080. We all win. And I think that's pretty much bringing you up to date on what's going on. Maybe I can expand this stuff a little bit since I am in 4K now, so this stuff's kind of coming through small. Really, it was a long night, but I feel like I learned a lot about streaming, about what things actually mean, like settings and all that. Bicubic sharpening. I've got, what else am I working on? The CBR rate control. I'm really glad that I looked into bit rate and like the limitations of bit rate on systems like Twitch. I think is maxed out bit rate at 6,000, and you add your video bit rate and your audio bit rate together, and then like they were saying, some people on Earth can't even watch streams that are over like 7,500 bit rate. So I got my bit rate at 5,600 right now with a 160 bit rate audio. And I think that that's going to be fine. YouTube can handle like 32,000 kilobits per second. Twitch is like 6,000. Twitch is much more limited. My encoder is the NVIDIA NVENC H264, which is my graphics card. And I took off Psycho Visual Tuning, whatever the hell that was, just for a little bit more quickness. We need to know. Well, oh yeah, Daniel Goddard. That's like a loaded question. What do I feel? What are my thoughts? My thoughts are that question presupposes the outcome of the question. I don't know what's going on with that. It looks fucking wild though. There's a investigation open into it, as far as I know. What's up, dude? What's up, Milner Music? Good to see you, man. All right, let's pull the game up. I'll keep the chat going, obviously. It's quite fun, quite fun. One of my favorite new games that's out. This is Demon's Mirror. You've seen it before if you've been watching my streams. Hello there, Safety Crocs. And everyone in chat, welcome and thanks for coming, man. Cool day, good day. Hope you're having a good day too. I'm having a great day. I mean, it was a lot of troubleshooting I was doing today, a lot of waiting, trying one thing. But ultimately, I realized, well, I don't have to sit around and wait for customer support to get back to me. I can just go live on YouTube. So let's do it. Let's play a little Axo, man. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Like the stream. Comments are always welcome. Support's huge. Massive, massive, awesome attention is huge. What do we got? Some chats I want to read before I start to really roll into this. Oh, and I also move this up here, maybe. Yeah, like that. What are you guys saying here, Milner Music? What's up, bro? My brother's a fan of yours. He's a Timcast viewer, but hey, that recent song you put out is nice. Your original song. I play the drums. I'm thinking about dropping a drum track to it. You talking about Graphene Dream? Yeah, I did a song called... Oh, that's cool that he moves with the mouse. I didn't know that. I did a song called Graphene Dream. We actually wrote that while we were on stream together. Here, I'm going to pull up some other tabs over here. I don't want that tab. I do want that tab. Don't need these. I was going to... You're making your own graphene for testing? That's a... Sounds awesome. Oh wait, here Tim H had something they wanted me to. Yeah, I thought that Graphene Dream song was good. Kind of wrote that on the fly. We just made up the words as we went. Please look at Mud Fossil University Roger Spur. This is what Tim H is saying. His scientific theories are jarring. There's 2 R's in the word jarring, but I think that's what you're saying. His scientific theories are jarring and enlightening. My hermetic senses tell me you will be inspired for service. Really? Roger Spur, Mud Fossil University. Thank you for the tip. Making your own graphene for testing. You build domes and want to use the graphene in the build. Yeah, that's what we were looking at doing in South America when we were in Peru, is breaking down the plastic with Pestiolopsis microsporae, turning it into sugar, mixing it with the graphene to use as a 3D printer filament. And then 3D printing these like graphene plastic, because the graphene and the plastic together will become super, super durable. Potentially, that was the idea. We never ended up actually breaking any of the plastic down with sugar. We bailed out of there. It got really crazy while we were down there politically. The citizens realized that they'd been being taken advantage of, and they dumped a bunch of trash on the mayor's lawn. And then the president of Peru resigned for corruption. All while we were there, I was like, this feels like we're getting entangled in something I don't want to be around. So we bailed on that, went to Chile for a little while. Soundwave server said, Tim, for the last 6 years, I hate war. Tim, during Russia and Ukraine, no war, idiots. He's saying Russian propaganda. I don't know. He's kind of, as far as I know about that guy, he's anti-war as fuck. I mean, some wars, I guess you could argue, are justified in life, but they're kind of like the last resort. They should be. I mean, I'm not like a utilitarian millicrat, though. I don't know. I've never been like born into a position of military authority where I have to decide right off the bat who gets to live and who gets to die and what I'm going to do with the troops. Because then in that state of mind, probably the last thing you're thinking is passive. Let's just have our troops sit around and we'll pay them to do nothing. Like, that's not good. You'd want to disband the troops instead of paying them to do nothing. I played enough Civilization to know that. You can always have them do humanitarian stuff, like build roads and bridges and shit. My buddy was in Afghanistan, and he was saying that that's kind of what they were doing. What they were trying to do is like build infrastructure. He's like, they don't want it. They didn't want it. A lot of them didn't want it. They didn't want us there. So, like, can't force someone to drink. Can't force someone to accept your roadways. You want to see me? This is what cats and guitars. I want to see you debate a flat earther. You should get David Weiss on the podcast. Yeah, I wouldn't mind debating a flat earther because I feel like the burden of proof is on them. Like, give me the data that has made you believe that the Earth is flat, like a flat plane. Is that what they're saying? Maybe there's different types of flat earthers, different flatnesses. Like some is like a flat disc, some is a flat square. I don't know. Some people think there's a firmament above us with like a big dome of water that's falling down. I've seen like video, even like Red Bull did a video where the guy dove out of orbit. What was his name? He like jumped out of an airplane in low orbit and then like skydived down to Earth. I've seen so many videos of rockets going up and down and watching the curvature of the Earth as they move through the atmosphere up into space, and then you look down and you see the Earth and you see all the continents and you can tell it's real. Like maybe they've been making every video of all time that has ever shown it from every independent source was lying and making it up, or maybe these flat earthers are bored and I was gonna say bored and stupid. Is it stupidity that makes people reach for weird, proofless concepts, or is it just boredom? Is it like life isn't good enough, so they've got to make up some weird thing with no evidence? I don't know. Flat Earth thing seems like absolute reprehensible is the right word, but reversionist philosophy. All right, I'm going to hit the bathroom, and then I'm going to get Axo rolling. This is the third character in Demon's Mirror. I've been meaning to beat the game with him. I haven't beaten it yet. I beat it with Wolf. As you know, if you've been watching the streams, crushed it with Wolf. Beat it with Drag. I also turned the volume up, so maybe I'll turn that back down a little. Some people were saying that the stream was harder to hear, so I have the volume actually kind of cranked. I just don't want it to distract. I mean, I could keep it up. Let me know. I'm going to keep the volume here, and then maybe I'll turn it down if it's a little too distracting. Sometimes people just like it kind of quiet in the background. Certain games call for different, certain volume levels. Like the more interactive first-person shooters are kind of like really good to have a lot of audio feedback. Like legitimate feedback, like clicking and picking things up and touching things. But like some games, it'll be real quiet, and then all of a sudden it'll go. You're like, whoa, what the fuck was that? So those can kind of quieter sounds. We'll see. I'm going to hit the bathroom. I'll be right back. Let's rock and roll, baby. Let's do this shit. Thank you for the subscription from earlier, Matthew Valentine. I'm reading your chats over here really quick. Yeah, I have been playing Diablo 4, that's for sure. It's awesome. You know what? I'm going to turn my own thing down because it's a little loud for me. Building a 30-foot dome, 700 square feet for $12,000, reinforced concrete and cement insulation. I hear a really good thing about domes. I also hear they leak, which is not a really good thing. I met a dude through Luke Rudkowski who was like an expert at domes. He'd go to Burning Man and build domes. And like he built them for people for a living. Dome housing. And he was like, the worst thing about them is when they leak and the water goes down the inside of the wall and like through the geodesics structures. Because I was like, dude, domes are the best. And he's like, yeah, they are awesome, but keep this in mind if you're going to build one. Leaky, leaky, leaky. So no leaks. That's cool, man. I would love to see like a blueprint of what you're working on. Oh, yeah. Happy 9/11, everyone. So it's your birthday today, Proven 22X? That's freaking cool, man. Happy birthday, dude. Happy September 11th. Man, 23 years ago was a crazy day. I don't know if you were... I guess we should do a little... I know I don't want to give you blue balls or anything. But before we get... So I guess this is streaming in 1080. I want to make sure. I mean, obviously it's in 1080, right? Webcam. Looks good to me. I think it's a 1080. 23 years ago today, I was in New York City and getting ready to go to a temp agency in the morning. I just moved there 6 days before. 23 years and 6 days ago, I had finally left Ohio for the first time in my life, moved away. I mean, I'd left Ohio before. I went to New York to visit in high school once with our show choir. Saw the Rent and... it was Rent I saw, and I saw Les Mis. Is that right? No. I saw a couple of musicals. Rent was one of them. I think it was Les Mis. Les Miserables. Maybe. I think I saw that. I've always wanted to see that. But anyway, New York City, September 11th, 2001. 9 a.m., my buddy called me. Jeff Wiseman. He's like, hey, man, I think we're under attack by terrorists. I was like, what? He's like, the World Trade Centers got hit by airplanes. It was like at 9:30 or something. I was going to get up at like 9:15 or 9:20 to go call the temp agencies. Well, that's what you do. You wake up early, you call the temp agencies, say, I'm going to be available today. And then you wait around, and by like 10 a.m., you'll get a call back. And they'll be like, all right, we have a job for you on 32nd Street. Here's the address. It's with this company. You'll ask for this person when you walk in. And then you're like, okay, and you get there by 11, and then you temp. You work there like 11 to 6. That was like a normal temp job thing that we would do in New York. Pay you $18 an hour. Pretty good gig for like a newbie in New York that is like acting, auditioning for theater on the off hours, needs to take certain days off, because on the days that you'd have auditions, you wouldn't check in, or you'd let them know you weren't available that day. So I was getting ready to call the temp agency to check in. Actually, I think 9/11 that morning... I specifically chose not to check in with the temp agencies for some reason. I was just sleeping. I was like, I'm not going to be working today. And Wiseman called me. I was like, hey, man, I think we're under attack by terrorists. It was a real intense conversation. I was like, what? Why? He was like, yeah, the World Trade Centers got hit by airplanes. I was like, oh, my God. And we didn't have cable. We didn't have TV, actually. I just moved in. It was like... we didn't have any reception, so we couldn't watch anything on TV. So I turned on the radio, and we listened to Howard Stern on the radio talk about it for like hours. And out our window, I was in Queens. I was in Astoria. We could see the smoke. You could go walk. You could like crawl out our living room window, like open it up and walk out onto the roof of the a room in the building, in the apartment below us, and you could see the smoke coming up in the horizon. It was crazy. By like midday, it was after they fell down. But we just listened to Howard Stern talk about it, and it was like, wow, terrorists attacked us. We got to get them. And then George Bush started talking like that, like, we're going to get it. We figured it out. It was Osama bin Laden. We're going to get him. And we were all like, hell yeah. We met up that day. Our mutual friend, Pete, worked up at the top of the World Trade Center. And, Josh Love, what's happening, man? Good to see you too, dude. Great name, by the way, brother. And Pete was nowhere to be found. He worked up at the top of the World Trade Center, like a good friend of ours that we did summer stock theater with the year before, and Jeff knew him really well. And we all got together, and a bunch of our friends, like Kent State alum that we all lived in New York City, a bunch of theater kids, we all went, well, theater adults at that point. I was 21. We went to some cafe and sat outside at like 4 in the afternoon, just kind of reflecting on what happened that day, and the horror and the gravity, and like people were pretty somber. I'd never lived in New York before that, so I didn't know what people were like before that, but apparently they were very somber after this, and they just looked normal. That was what New York was to me, was people walking around kind of calm and introspective and very nice, very, very kind to each other. People were really good to each other, after, like, to me and other. I could see like there's a lot of like empathy and humanity. And Pete never called. We were like, "Where's Pete?" Was in the tower, and he's a good friend of ours. And then it turned out he'd been out of town. There's that super chat I was talking about. Here comes Arthur.
Just dropping by to say hi, Ian.
Hi to you, man. Hi to you, Josh. Thanks, dude. So we were all like very, very concerned for Pete, but it turned out, like, we found out later that night or the next morning or something, he hadn't been answering phone calls, but he had been out of town and no one knew it. He wasn't in the tower that day, and because of that, he survived. And it was just it's a weird day, man. But when George Bush came out and was like, "We're gonna go get him," everybody was like, "Hell yeah. That guy attacked us, Osama bin Laden. We're going to get him, and we're going to make him pay." Hey there, Joe. Yeah, we didn't do the JoJo Dancer show today. We skipped it today. We're going to do it next week. We're planning on Monday. So it's tentatively set for Monday. I think I'm going to be in town, so if I'm not, we'll make it happen for sure, whether it's remote or come over and jam. Also, Joe lives close by to me, and we're talking about jamming out a little bit and playing some music, which could be very fun. Get a couple of guitars together, and it's the channel is is JoJo Dancer on Rumble. You want to check out JoJo Dancer. We're gonna be doing stuff on there in the future. But man, the fervency to go to war after that, after George Bush came out and told us that it was Osama bin Laden, they found out, they figured it out. I don't know how soon after the attack, after the building got hit, that they found the passport of Muhammad Atta on the ground, but that was like in the days following. They told us his passport fell out of the airplane, and people just believed it. And I just believed everything I was told about it as it went on. We were all in such shock that I mean, you just what do you when it's that when you're in a state of like shocked trauma, like you kind of trust the authority. Well, at the time I trusted the authority. I was like, well, the authority's got my back. The authority that immediately wants to invade that foreign country, and little did I know, take it over. I didn't know that. I thought we were just going to go to Osama bin Laden and win all of a sudden this new war that just got started, the war on terror. And we're going to have to make sacrifices for the war on terror. But we'll get him. We'll get Osama bin Laden, and that'll fix it all. What a crazy experience that was, man. I ended up getting a job down there at Ground Zero in October. Told you guys about that on the stream the other night. One of the firemen that would work down there, he had a camera, and he'd go up on top of a building and take pictures, crazy pictures and stuff. He was like, they were like just digging through the rubble, looking for people, looking for bodies, looking for survivors. If there's any kind of survivor, anything in there. I don't know if they ever found, I think they found one survivor maybe. I don't know if they ever found a survivor in that wreckage. But he was like, he came into the building where I worked across the street of the American Express building on the second floor, and he walked in and he was like, "Man, people keep asking me where the bodies are. There are no bodies. The bodies are under your feet, draining down into the East River. Everything's melted. And I was like, oh my God. I guess when a building falls down, the pressure causes so much heat that it melts everything, melts bodies, melts iron. He was like, there's liquid, there's molten rivers of lava underneath the pile. He was telling me about it, like molten steel, molten iron, or whatever. There's this flowing molten metal. I'm like, well, I guess when a building falls down, that's what happens. I didn't think anything of it. Then later, I learned out about nanothermite and about how you can use this military grade incendiary to melt steel. And then I started to see all sorts of crazy stuff, like eyewitnesses that are like, there were bombs exploding in the building going up before they came down in what the scientists later define as a near free fall, which the only way to have a building come down in near free fall is to blow the supports out. And then that coupled with the people on there that were like, and there were bombs. And then that coupled with the nanothermite that you use to explode and cut steel. That coupled with me being in the building next door with all the windows blown out on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth floors, just shattered from the pressure. I was like, well, I guess when a building falls down, straight down, without any supports all of a sudden, the outward pressure of the fall will blow the walls out and the windows out of the neighboring buildings a block away or whatever it was, across the street or whatever. Then later I started seeing the eyewitnesses talk about how there were explosives going off up the building, outward, all this outward explosive force, which now I'm would consider that's probably what knocked the walls and the windows out in the American Express building. Who would have done that? I don't know. I wonder a lot about that. Like, I've heard so many people be like, 9/11's an inside job, man. You're like, yeah, well, prove it. There's no proof. I mean, there's evidence that someone lined the building with explosives, both the buildings, and Building 7, all three of them, to blow the supports because they fall in near free fall. That doesn't happen on accident. That doesn't happen because the top of the building takes concussive pressure. The whole bottom of the building doesn't just fall all at once. That requires the supports being blown out. Who did it? I have no fucking idea, man. But it really looks like somebody did. I just tell myself, follow the money. Who profited off of it? But that's not always the reason either, because sometimes people will just see a tragedy and profit off of it. Terrible, terrible, terrible experience for like almost everybody involved, except for Dick Cheney. He made out like a bandit. They set up Halliburton in Afghanistan after that. Dick Cheney's company is one of his companies. It's a defense company. Got a huge government contract. The vice president's old company got a huge government contract while he was vice president in the country that his president sent us to war, like his immediate superior. Although Cheney was kind of in control of a lot of stuff. Bush kind of delegated a lot of military authority to Cheney. Just a lot of authority in general. Cheney was like George Bush Sr.'s advised choice to George Bush Jr. as a VP. They were old buddies. Cheney, who just endorsed Kamala Harris. I did an interview with the 9/11 architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth. I think it's out on their Twitter channel. So much change after that. So many government agencies were spun up after that. The TSA. It's like, why do we have... Let's see, what was another one that was kind of weird that just came out? Homeland Security. I was like, but we already have the FBI. Why do we need another Homeland Security agency? Like, that's what the FBI does, is Homeland Security. But all of a sudden, we got another government agency now. Homeland Security? TSA? All right, there's another one. There's some weird voting agency that got created after that would like help make sure that our elections were secured. Just so much federal authority ramped up after that day. 23 years ago. I'm fortunate to have lived 22 years before that, to have witness to what the world was like before that. Well, here's to no more false flags. Not that it's a false flag. I'm not saying that that was, although it could have been. I'm not saying that it was. But here's to no more of those bullshits. Be very aware with critical thought when dumb stuff happens, when attacks go off, when missiles get fired, when boats get sunk, when bombs drop. Unless you're the military commander and you have to make a split decision, unless you're that guy, and then I pity you and I support you, but still, good God, good luck. You don't have to believe what you're told right away. You're allowed to question it, and it's important that you save space, memory, random access memory in your brain to allow yourself to question it. Because one of the worst things in the world is getting misled into a war, getting tricked into hurting someone. Yeah, man. Check out the nanothermite, the evidence about nanothermite. NIST, the National Institute for Standards and Technology, did an investigation, is what they call it, an investigation, and said, we didn't see any evidence, so there was none. End of investigation. Other scientists were like, well, we saw evidence of nanothermite in the dust all around the buildings. It's a military-grade incendiary used to melt steel, to decommission tanks and stuff in the field. If we can't bring them home, we're just going to melt them so that the enemy can't use them. So they set up nanothermite charges inside the machines, and they melt the steel with it. They found that dust and red chips of nanothermite around the buildings. Why? Because it was present. That's my guess. I mean, why was it present? You got to fill those blanks in or do some research to try and figure that part out. It's like, I feel like that's where it all begins for me, because I lived there, I worked there, I believed everything I was told about it. And then when the evidence started coming in 2006, 2007, when I started making YouTube videos and people were like, Ian, question the narrative. Question what you've been told. You think that everything you've just thought your whole life is true? Have you ever heard of fractional reserve banking? Do you know what the military industrial complex is? Do you know what the new world? Have you even heard of the new world order? I didn't even know what the world order was until 4 years ago, 6 years ago, or something like that. That wasn't even part of this awakening. But like, having to look at those buildings fall and realize that they were falling at near free fall speed was like, how did I miss that? It was like I didn't question it because I didn't know there was something to question. In the beginning, in 2001, in 2002, I just saw them fall, and I was like, wow. The building got hit by an airplane on the 110th floor, and the whole thing fell. Didn't think that part at near free fall speed. All right, Grafty. I hear you, brother. Let's game. And now, let's redivert our focus and attention into something constructive. Like taking AXO to the finish line. Thanks, James. Oh. And before I do, I remember that Flight 93 going down in Pennsylvania. It was a hijacked airplane, we were told. And I believe still to this day that it was hijacked. George Bush said this guy on the airplane got some other passengers while they were being hijacked, and they all kind of quietly decided they were going to try and stop the hijacking one way or another. And they screamed out, "Let's roll." And when he yelled, "Let's roll," they all got up and charged the terrorists on board that had box cutters. Took them down. But because they couldn't get into the cockpit, a scuffle ensued. They were trying to get into the cockpit, and then the pilots crashed the airplane on purpose into some field in Pennsylvania, and the airplane just completely obliterated itself. Well, that was an interesting story that I believed at face value, although the day after 9/11, I was reading the 911 reports, the phone calls. The FBI released the 911 transcripts from all the 911 calls. There were a bunch of them. And there were some 911 calls made either from that airplane or from from like the wife of someone that was on the airplane or the husband of a woman on the airplane. There was contact made with somebody on the airplane from an airphone, and you can find this transcript too. In fact, I'm going to try and look it up right now. It's a fascinating transcript. They said there was a loud explosion outside of the plane, and now there's white smoke pouring out of the plane. Well, that sounds like a missile hit the plane to me. That's the story that I've come to believe is probably true about Flight 93, is that the military was like, oh crap, they're heading for the White House. Take them out. They blew it up. They hit it. They shot it down, which, I'll be honest, is the right thing to do. If you don't know what's going on and you truly feel like we're being attacked and that plane might come and attack your capital, take it out of the sky. Those 100 people on board, casualties of war, in my opinion, unfortunately. You got to preserve the target, whatever that might have been, because it could have killed 1,000 more people. So you take a risk, you take a calculated risk, and you shoot down. But that we were told that the passengers just overran the cockpit and forced the crash seems very strange to me. Like, why does this transcript exist? Let's see if I can pull this up. Of course, a lot of it's the internet, so maybe it exists, maybe it doesn't. Good. I would invite everyone that's listening to go down this lane of memory with me and remember what happened on that day. One of the worst things that could ever happen to us as a species to be tricked into war. I think, unless the war ends up saving us. But if that's the case, we should know about it ahead of time and make the choice, I think. But hey man, maybe sometimes the ends do justify the means. I don't know. I don't really think they do. Regardless of that, thanks for coming and thanks for the subscription, bro. Still looking. All right, I want to make sure that I get this story. Glenn Kramer apparently is the emergency supervisor who monitored the call. Glenn Kramer, 911, Flight 93, call, white smoke. Oh, I see now they've listed it as a 9/11 conspiracy skeptic project. Doom passenger call. This is from Wired.com. Explosion in smoke. Whether it's a myth or not, I don't know, but I read the transcript the day after, on September 12th, and I was like, what? And then the FBI scrubbed the transcripts shortly after that. I was like, what? Here we go. All right, this is from Wired.com. I'm going to pull this up. First, I got to pull this over here. This is Doom passenger call, September 11th, 2001, Associated Press. En route, Flight 93, Newark, New Jersey, San Francisco, crashed in Somerset County Airport, north of the airport, 80 miles southeast of Pittsburgh. No reason to believe there are any survivors. So this is an emergency dispatcher received a cell phone call at 9:58 a.m. from a man who said he was a passenger locked in a bathroom aboard United Flight 93. Said Dispatch supervisor Glenn Kramer. So this is coming from a guy, dispatch supervisor named Glenn Kramer in a neighboring Westmoreland County. The man repeatedly told officials the call was not a hoax. We're being hijacked. Quote, "We are being hijacked," Kramer quoted the man saying from a transcript of the call. The man told the dispatchers the plane, quote, was going down. He heard some sort of explosion and saw white smoke coming from the plane. And we lost contact with him, Kramer said. So this guy apparently on the plane heard an explosion and saw a bunch of white smoke coming from the plane. And then this transcript got harder and harder for me to find as the months went on after that, which I thought was kind of strange. I'm not sure who exactly. It might have been CNN, but this is the AP that is reporting this. Hey, maybe it was a bomb on the airplane that someone set off, but maybe it was a missile. That plane had been completely disintegrated. I mean, it was like obliterated by the time. Literally, here's the word disintegrated. There's a crater gorged the earth. The plane is pretty much disintegrated. Maybe a crash will disintegrate an airplane. Heard the engine gun 2 different times, and then I heard a loud bang, and the windows of the houses all around rattled. These are people that saw the crash themselves. I don't know. It's just one guy's testimony, but he was a 911 dispatcher, and the AP reported on it. It's always stuck in my mind when I read this the day after 9/11. Hey, man, like I said, I don't blame if the military had to take action and made a choice, and a pilot was like, I'm not letting this thing go rogue and hit the White House. I support that pilot's decision. If it was a commander that said, we don't know what's happening, two buildings have been hit, the Pentagon was hit, so we're told, take it out, fine, you did the right thing. You made a difficult choice and did the right thing if that's what you did. But then when George Bush just said, if that's what happened, and this is a big if, and then we were told by our commander something else, I'm thinking, why would he lie about that? Is he lying? Did he make that story up? Were they let's rolling anyway, and then they got hit by the missile? Was there a scuffle on the plane and the plane got shot down? I don't know, maybe. But like, why didn't if it was shot down, why wouldn't the commander in chief, the commander George Bush at the time, say we had to shoot it down? They didn't want to look bad. And then I'm thinking, if that's the case, and these are a bunch of ifs, that would make me nervous to think that our commander lied to us about a piece of the puzzle. And like, if you're going to lie about one piece of the puzzle, are you going to lie about other ones? But still, I don't know. I'm just reading the 911 transcripts reported by the AP. Here it is again. The plane was going down. He heard some sort of explosion and saw white smoke coming from the plane. That's from the guy that was on the phone, purportedly, according to the dispatcher, the 911 dispatcher. The 911 dispatch supervisor, Glenn Kramer. But another thing that's weird is, if he's in the bathroom of the airplane, well, maybe there was white smoke just coming through the door of the bathroom. For some reason, when I read this, I thought the white smoke was coming out off the side of the plane. But now he's saying coming from the plane. Maybe it was in the plane. Maybe, I don't know. But I was like, if he's in the bathroom, how could he see white smoke coming out outside on the outside of the plane because he's in the bathroom? Maybe he saw it and he ran into the bathroom. If the plane's going down, you're not going to have time to go run into the bathroom and make a phone call. It's like he was in the bathroom when it happened. I don't know. I'd love to interview Glenn Kramer about it, though, to get more of a sequence of events. Flight 93 has always tweaked me out. Let's get back to gaming, man. I got a lot to do tonight. I'll probably only be streaming for another hour because Timcast IRL is going live at 8 p.m., as you know, and I'm not going to stream over that show tonight, but I'll probably bounce, clean up, eat up, get back on after that, maybe 10 o'clock. In the meantime, let's start. Let us begin. Yeah, I'll be on the show tomorrow. I'll be on IRL tomorrow. Oh, let's do this. There we go. I got my my settings are in different order. Yep. Cool. Let's do this. Axo's a unique dude. He at the beginning of every round, he turns a piece on the board into these. You'll see these circle things, these like electrified balls at the beginning of each turn. And if you run a chain through an electrified ball, it costs one less. That's his ability. I kind of want to go grab. I'm going to want to do a shop. So it looks like this top row, random events, shop, elite looking good. I could hit the elite, shop, great stone, elite, shop, great stone. Yeah, let's do that. I kind of want cards to start, but we'll go here. Make the decision if we're going to do an event or a battle after this. Chris W. got Stony Baloney. Watching Mr. Moonlord and play some D4, hoping he'll add me to his clan of Graphene Dreaming. Well, you know I'm going to add you to my clan, dude. And thank you, everybody, for the super chats, by the way. Got some 44 concurrent viewers with 39 likes. I like that ratio. Keep it up. Like the stream. If you like the stream, like the stream. I don't know, Chris. You might have to apply to join. I haven't logged in. I haven't looked at the clan in a little while, but you know I'll add you, dude. So apply, or remind me next time we're playing. And this is Demon's Mirror, Aiden. This is a newly released. It's about a week old card game, kind of mixed with this cool secondary style of play. It's really cool. So this guy, like I said, transforms into these. He puts these on the board. They're when you run chains through them, it makes the chain cost one less. And then he can add them to the board and stuff. He's got from what I can find, two play styles. One, he can play with a lot of arrows. He's got his special attack design it's an arrow attack. And then he gets cards that buff his arrows, and you can just go attack, attack, attack. You can do a strong attack build. Or you can put a lot of these on the board. And he has these things called Shock. He has this ability called Shock. It's a debuff you put on enemies. And then for every, you'll add 2 shock to every enemy. So this guy will have 2, he'll have 2. And then if I run a chain, they both take 2 damage. They take damage equal to their shock. And then you subtract 1 from their shock. So they'd each have 1 shock. And then if I run another chain, they'll each take 1 damage, and then you'll remove it, and they'll have no shock. So the key is to get a lot of shock on all the enemies, and then start running chains. Get like 10 on each, they'll take 10. Then the next chain will make them take 9. And then the next one will make them take 8. It's a really powerful scaling ability. So my dream in this playthrough is to go shock build. But you kind of got to take what you get. But I'm aiming to get shock build. That's what I want. Let's see if it happens. All right, to start, I think it gets an essence. Because that'll allow me to block out. And get some groundwork laid. Or I can just attack. I think groundwork's the way to go. That's big. These things are really, really good. Groundwork's an excellent card. They made me brittle, but they didn't attack. Those fools. He also has this cool card, Shift, where you move every tile in a row to the right one. So, everything would shift right 1. And the one on the far right would move to the far left. Just like real politics. All right, let's go. I think I'm looking at a big attack here. A big attack. What's that going to be? So when they get down to 5 or less, they trigger. So let's do this. Get them down to 6. Oh, so close. But how about we... see here, he can gain armor. He can apply 3 shock to every enemy, which is awesome. But against these guys, I don't want to add shock, because if I damage him and don't kill him, he's going to add stuff to my board. So let's make a couple of those. Let's do an essence draw. And then smack this guy. And then we can shift to get ready for next round's attack. We can actually shift 3 times, which I'm going to do here, 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 to set up for a big attack next turn. I'm liking Axos so far. Okay, so looks like we've got game 4. Oh, they've got me brittle. That's why it's not coming through super hard. So what I'm really going to need to do is this. Finish him off. Give myself a big block. And maybe we'll shift that. Strikes are very valuable in the early game. I think he's just about finishable now. If I shift that, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 5. That's 9. He's at 11. But I think I'll be able to handle it. Shift that. Playing pretty conservative here. Be able to finish him off next round. This is the first battle. I'm kind of learning this, guys. I go, no, it's was that Lost Soldier? It's not hard. I'm just learning it, so I'm playing it really slow, and I'm making sure like every move I'm doing as correctly as possible or to the best of my ability, and I keep beating it. This is my 6th run through. I've beaten it twice. I played it through once with each character and lost each time, and then I played it through a second time with each character and won, and now this is my second time through with Axo. So hopefully I'll win. I'll keep up the pattern and I'll win now that I know what I'm doing. Remove it from the board. Choose a card from the discard pile. This is really good. That's great. So here's, if we're looking at a shock build, damage all other enemies for half the target's shock value. If I'm going shock build, but I think the revamp's hard to beat. Let's go. Events are just too good to pass up in this game. Remove a card. Yeah, I'll remove a card. Let's remove an arrow. Remove 2 cards? Yeah, we'll remove a block out and a shift. Draft an essence card or a neutral card? Oh, I'm going to draft a neutral card. Let's see what they have to offer. That's pretty cool. Universal Link, that's pretty good. Because you can use that on an enemy. Oh, that wouldn't end the enemy's tile, though. It would just turn it universal. Remove all your brittle, vulnerable, and weak. Costs 2. And you forget it. This card generally is really awesome. I like it a lot. That's expensive for a one-time use. I like this power. It comes in handy. It costs 2. Can upgrade it to make it cost 1. Now the question is here. I think I'm gonna go for the elite. I'm just going right in, dude. Big Fatty wants a taste, so I'm gonna give it to him. Chat coming in from Dookie J Nukem. What's up, dude?
You would probably like Monster Train. A lot of you like this game. Have you tried Slay the Spire?
I have. I have tried Slay the Spire and Monster Train. I have it. I have them both. Monster Train graphics kind of look like this game. The characters move similarly. The art is kind of similar. I like Monster Train a lot. Yeah, Monster Train's super fun. Here's the combo that I was looking for, a groundwork and a revamp together. However, oh, here's what I can do. That's the combo right there. What a setup. Groundwork and revamp. Yes, please. I got a big essence call coming next turn. And then maybe a big gem snag after that. So for this, I should shift these and prepare for an attack. I'm going to need to hit this guy hard, though. So he's going to buff this guy. If I kill this guy, he's going to buff himself. If I don't kill this guy, he's going to buff him. So I got to make a choice. Let's do this like I thought. Of course, the groundwork, as always, spectacular card. Really love that card. I think I'm going to go for this guy first. Jeez, he's buffing himself, and he's buffing him. Gross. So we'll get him in kill range. And then... shift that and do that. I think I can handle a big attack next turn. Oh, it's Ducky. It's not Duke, it's Ducky. I said Dookie J Nukem. Ducky J Nukem. I'm going to let that super chat play through the system. Can I handle 9 damage? Yes, I can. Take the 9. I want to get this out. And this would be a good shift here. For some more block next round in case. However, the revamp... I could revamp a shift. No, I'm not going to revamp because I want to keep this on the board this turn. Now I got to finish this guy.
Thanks. It's pronounced Ducky and my pronouns are quack/honk. I'm Duck on the Timcast Discord.
Quack/honk. Alright. Quack wanted to know that Honk's pronouns are quack and honk. Thanks, Ducky. I gotta make sure that I can block. offense with this guy. I took that strike out of my deck, which might have been a little premature, but... Oh, and now he's coming. Because I killed his imp. He's attacking me with the big attack. Brutal. God. I just got to attack. I gotta go after this guy so hard. I think shock is the way to go now. Honestly, what I want to do is, well, first I'll groundwork for sure. Just hit him really hard, probably. Oh, shock in action is so good. I want to get more shock before I start chaining them off because they're really good. If I can do this. Any worth revamping at all? Nah. Okay, I need willpower big time. So I could shift. I don't have a shift. That's a problem. But I do have a lot of blocks, so that's good. Is he coming with 13? Perfect. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Now I could do 5 or lay more groundwork. I'm gonna lay more groundwork. They're great for the shocks. Legend of Mana. I played Secret of Mana. I don't think I ever played Legend of Mana, though. I imagine it's awesome. Hey, this is cool. I need some shock cards. All right, I gotta go into. I gotta lean into shock. What am I doing? Don't wait. I got the revamp, but maybe I could have taken that water bottle thing. But I think the water bottle, you use it once and it's lost. Now I can strike him, or I can do a huge attack. No, I can't do a huge attack. I can set up for a big block next round, or I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't because I don't have. I can 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I mean, I think I just got to go for Fatty and try and finish him as fast as possible. And then strike. Getting close. Shift these. And these. This is Demon's Mirror, Ducky. I'm down to 6. I can bring him down to 6. Or I can shift over. That'll bring him down to 3. 3. Ugh, what do I have? 4 here? More shock. So this will put him at 5. Man, I don't have enough. I don't want to take... Dude, I think I fucked that up big time. I could have went into block and tried to... Oh, I have a shift. I can win. Nope. Crap. That was bad. Well... Oh, he's at 4, so I think the shock will kill him. I think it hits... I don't know if it hits armor or if it goes through the armor, but we can... One way to find out... Fuck. I should armor up. Please shock him. Ah, it hits armor. Well, lesson learned. I'll take 10. Damn. I just need to hit this guy for 4, which I can do right here. Oh, okay. The Phoenix down. First time I receive a killing blow this run, heal back up to 25%. Oh, well, hope to God that never happens, but that's a nice... That's a nice insurance policy. So the first turn combat, draw 1 extra card with its cost reduced by 1. Freak, yeah, that's great. Deal 4 damage, boomerang. Returns to your hand after being played? Oh, shit. They're kind of giving me an attack build. Does cost 4 essence, though. Shift all tiles and come up 1. Haven't seen one of those before. That's a pretty good way to spend my essence. I always enjoy this card, too. This card's really good. But this, an attack, I need damage. This is an attack card that returns to my hand. I'll take it. And I feel like I got to go to the shop here. This is so valuable to stone management. But I don't think pulling cards out of my deck right now is the right move. Maybe it is. No, I think the shop is the way. But he'll let me upgrade a card too, rather than spend money on upgrade. Then I can hit this shop and do 2 upgrades. It's hard to pass up the big stone man. All right, let's go. I'm gonna upgrade what? Gut reaction does 6 damage and boomerangs, or this costs 1. I think this 6 damage and boomerangs. Yes, please. That's awesome. So who's the boss? It's the Hydra. I do so enjoy the Hydra. No, I don't think it's the same developers as Monster Train. No. Let's fuck these dudes up. They're coming for 6 damage. Beautiful. What if I do this? This guy probably I should go for first. He's messing me up. Is turning out not to be as great as I thought it would be. Kind of don't love it. What's this? Chain is 25% shorter. Yuck. I need essence now. Let's do this. 4 essence, is that enough? No, I need 5 to get that going. I could do this. It's like almost good. Well, I guess I'll do it. 9 is not 10. But I can do 6 to him. I'm at 7. What if I do this? It's still only 6. Yeah, but then I can set up for defense. It's better than nothing. And then I can finish him maybe next turn. Shift these two. Actually, I kind of want to. I'll shift these. No, I'm gonna keep that as it is. I'll shift these. I think I'm just gonna keep it. Ugh, damage. Sucks. Now, what I should do is he's gonna heal this fool. I don't think so, bro. What I should do is a massive. I gotta finish this guy fast. I need to do 7 to him. I don't see that happening. Unless I get this, do a shock. That's gonna take me down to. I'm gonna end up taking 6 damage if I do that. If I get the essence, I can block this at least. What if I do this? Nope. What is he healing for? Brutal. And he's got armor. God. Okay. I gotta do some serious damage here. What's that? 10. 14. He's at 25. That'll put him at 11. Or I can try and finish this guy now while I have the chance. If I do 14 to him, I can do 18 to this guy. So what I want to do is get him at 6 hit points by doing 9. No, that'll put him at 5 hit points. By doing 4. If I hit him for 4. And then 8. That'll put him at 6, and then I can finish. Then I can. Oh, it does 6 damage. Crap. Okay, well, done. Just finish his ass. He doesn't heal himself. Not that I know of. He heals his allies.
I have a Fidelity account. How do I invest in graphene stocks? Is there a good website for the graphene industry? Also, have you ever looked into hemp?
I've definitely looked into hemp. I've looked into it for like hours at a time and just got lost in it. No, I know what you mean. Looked into the investment strategies of hemp a little bit. Thanks, Brewmaster Monk, by the way, for the super chat. And yeah, hemp. You can make a lot of stuff. Hemp is an extremely valuable product. You can make a lot of materials out of hemp. Clothing. They used to make like sails out of it. Rope. Obviously, you can eat it. And that's just like some basic. You can make buildings out of that stuff, I think. When it comes to investing in graphene, I've never done it with money. I invest in it with my time, basically. And I think I don't know. I don't know really how to look into it. The only company that I really know the people involved in is called Universal Matter. It's a private company, though. I'm not sure it's on the stock market listed, so I don't know if you're able to invest in it. If it comes to just like general, like how do I invest, though, I'm not. I wish I knew. I wish I could give you better advice, but I don't really know. I do know how to slaughter this guy, though. I'm going to have to hit him for 6, 5. That'll put him at 11. Oh my god, this battle's proving to be really nasty. This is what happens if you sit around and don't kill this guy, I guess. I do him for 9, and he's at 7. I can't even do that if I wanted to. I could do him for 3. Dude, I think I might lose this game fast. I kind of want to restart. Dude, I mean, relative to the other character, he fucking blows. This guy sucks. You can get good builds with him, but he's fucking It takes so long to get good cards with this guy. I mean, maybe it's my fault for not doing battles and just doing events and stuff and removing cards from my deck, but he's so shitty compared to Drago. And Wolf is just a monster. He attacks so hard. This guy, I really don't like him. I don't like playing as him. It's not fun. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Another block? I have a strike. I got a block. I can block for 2. Ooh, good. So I can take 22. That's 13 more damage. I can take 11. I can actually hit him, which is probably the right move. And just take 13. Fucking horrible. And then that revamp in retrospect is a bad choice. I don't want to blow these up. Shock is really powerful, though. You just got to get it. It's only good if it compounds on itself. It's really bad if you just have a little... Hey, another revamp that I'm not going to take. Okay, 2 plus X shock, where X equals every 4. That's a great card. That just applies shock. I'll take it. I'm going shock build. Oh. Definitely laying the groundwork. Okay, we'll take this. Just make it permanently. Cost reduced by 1. I wonder if it's going to cost 0 when I get redraw it. I hope it is. I hope it has. Ian, could you please explain how we could use graphene in building and how we could expedite this process? One way to do it is with bulk graphene, where you take carbon trash and then you hit it with electricity at 7,000 degrees. You pulse it at 0.1 milliseconds. It's called flash joule heating. And you can turn carbon trash, or carbon anything really, into graphene and like get rid of the impurities. So like you can take soil, like contaminated soil, and hit it with a laser, or not lasers. I gotta stop calling it lasers. Hit it with electricity. You run an electrical current through it, you pulse it, and it turns the carbon in the tainted soil into graphene, and then it gives you all the poison as byproduct, and you can get rid of the poison that way. And then you can reintroduce the graphene back into the soil. And I think it's actually very good for soil. But what you'll do is you'll take that graphene powder and then you mix it in with building materials, and it just makes them stronger by weight. That's one way to do it. It'll get to the point where we're able to produce thick sheets, like many, many, many layers of, honestly, twistronic sheets, where there's a style of making graphene where it's called twistronic. Twistronics is like a scientific path you can take where you twist layers of materials on top of each other at the molecular scale, at the atomic scale. So you'll have like one atom layer thick sheet, and then you'll put another one on top of it at a 1.1 degree angle, and then another one on top of that at a 1.1 degree angle. I think 1.57 degrees. There's like a magic angle that you find where it's twisted just right that it causes it to become massively superconductive. And so you could technically, hypothetically, layer enough sheets of graphene on top of each other that you have like a thick wall of the stuff that's electrically conductive and can store electricity like a battery. So you could make it like a touch screen. Like your walls could be touch screens that are also wires. Like you wouldn't need wires in your houses anymore because your walls would function as wiring. I think you probably. And it would be like your TV screen. Your walls would be your TV screens and your batteries and your wires all in one. And then, I mean, honestly, you could like wear clothing that does that same thing, I think, too. That's high tech. We got to really advance the manufacturing process of twistronic graphene, and particularly just like refined atomic sheets of it. Because the bulk graphene's easy to make. You run an electrical current through carbon, and you come out with like this broken powder of graphene. But to make sheets of it is when it starts to become really useful in electronics. So both. I think rudimentarily we'll start with the bulk graphene, just to make building materials lighter. I kind of want to grab all the armor. Is that a bad move? Probably. No, it's not. It's just enough. So before I do that, I want to shock his ass. No, I want to shock him after I do this. Because I want to do this. Dude, groundwork, it's like you kind of got to play slow with this guy and go groundwork, even though it might put him in the wrong spots. Oh, that's so good. They call that ability cruel. Sure is. Alright, let's shift that over too for a block next turn, just in case. What's this? Whenever health is lost, he gets +3 temporary strength next turn. I wonder if I can just slaughter this guy now. I think I should. If I can. I don't think I could. Oh, God, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Fuck. Yeah. Okay. Dead by Daylight? No, I've never played Dead. Actually, wait. No, I don't think I have ever played Dead by Daylight. No. Confirmed. God, shock is so powerful. So powerful. Okay, can I finish this guy fast? No, but I can set up for next turn where I hit him super hard. I don't even want to hit him. I can just keep him under control until I can obliterate him really fast. What's this? Weakness? Ah! It's alright. He doesn't do anything. He hardly does anything. He's about to buff himself, though. Is he going to get himself more aggravated? Wait, what do I do this? Either way, there's a limitation on what I'm going to get out of this. See if I can add a bunch of shock to him. And then finish him in like a... Wow, look at all this attack. So, if I shift that, I'm going to lose this. And that. I'll lose my... I should shift it. Kind of just want to hold, man. Nah, I can do some damage to him. Oh no, I'm weak though. I should just hold. If I shock him, he's gonna get a bunch of strength next turn, so I gotta wait. What I want to do is put another shock on him and then... gotta go to the bathroom again. I'll be right back. Now the question is, should I hit him and just get this started? He's going to have plus 10 strength next round if I attack. Oh, jeez. I'm playing in a closet, Ducky, because it's a gigantic room, and it's very quiet and secluded, and the audio is dampened in here, and it's wired for high-speed internet. And it's also warm. I can adjust, I can control the temperature. The rest of the house is kind of, it's a gigantic office building. It's kind of, the temperature is like all, I want to do 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is all like connected. So this is like the one area of this building that I can control the temperature. That's a big part of it. That? Alright, I'm going all in on this dude. Let's see if it was worth. That's shock action. So, give me more shock. So it's this. Oh, deal 2 damage to, and then damage all their enemies for half the target's shock value. That combos really well. When your shield is broken, add 2. That's good if you can get it out. Gain 3 concentration. Gain 5 concentration. When playing an attack card, lose all control. Attack steal. No, I'm not playing an attack build. When your shield is broken, that card's great, but it does not compound with my shock. But that's so freaking good. It is really, really good when it's upgraded. I'm going to want to do an elite and then a shop. Damn, should I get this? This water bomb's good, but if you don't play it, it disappears at the end of the turn. You only get to keep it if you use it. And it costs 1, so it's like... Safeguard's too good not to take, and I've got to try the elite. Either the elite's going to slay me or I'm going to beat him. Obviously. These guys are perfect targets for shock, by the way. I'm going to keep saying the word shock while I'm at it. That costs 3. Sure that. He's going to break my shield. Watch safeguard in action. 2 of those. Yes. whipping his ass. He's going to try and add a tile to the board, but I think I can stop him. I mean, I'll rephrase that. I can stop him. Now I just want to shift these into position to do a really good gem utilization next round. Skidoo, glidoo. Oh, broke my shield again perfectly. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Speaking of 6, 6, 6, let's do it. So I want him to hit me for 6 exactly. I'd really love this. How about we do this? And shift those. Dude, the safeguard is winning this match for sure. I think I could do that. What if, so he's at 1, I could revamp and grab the cruel, but I don't have enough essence to really pull that off. So what I should do is attack. Now I can revamp the ground. I could revamp the resourcefulness and just play it. Or, yeah, I don't need to block. I mean, I could just do another attack too. The sooner I kill this guy, the better. There's also cards where he'll damage himself, and if you can shield yourself the perfect amount and then damage yourself and remove your own shield, you get 2 of these on the board. It's a great combo. I was doing that last time I played with him. Yeah, Wizard Eye. Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. You know what that means? I'm about to wrap this up. Let's see if I can defeat this guy and then move on. I will do this. I'm not getting rid of that. That? About... Alright, this is okay. This isn't good. I got a lot of block next round. A lot of block. I got a lot of block. I think I'm going to do a huge block. So that means I'm going to get 16 and he's going to do 15. So it's not going to trigger my safeguard. Unfortunately, but whatever. Then I might as well go all the way and get a bunch of this. How would I do that? Like this? Can I slide them over? You know, getting rid of that one card, I probably should have held that shift and not got rid of that other shift. That thing's really valuable in here if I'm trying to trigger shock. It's really about making chains. Gotta trust in the process, fool. Can I no, there's nothing to revamp. 6 damage he's coming with again. He's going to attack me for 6 damage. It's hilarious. Exactly what I didn't want. I was going to use these for 6. Or for 5, rather. And then he took them. I only need to use 3 of them, though. To trigger. But I can use these now for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's actually perfect. And then I could do this. And that. Oh, I should have moved this. No, that was right. That was right. He starts off sucking, but then he gets really powerful when he triggers when he starts to stack his shot. That's what I remember. That's extremely good. Dexterity goes a long way in this. All right, you guys. It's just about 8 o'clock. I want to pause the stream. I'm going to shut it down for a couple hours. Timcast IRL is coming up. My homie's about to run rampant and tell you all the latest news and whatever. I'm going to go take a shower, maybe make a salad for myself and refresh. Have some fun. Maybe even stop in and watch the show a little bit myself. And then I'm going to come back on later and continue the stream and finish off these foolish hydras who think they stand a chance. Little do they know how electricity and water mix. The dumbasses. I'm just kidding. I love the hydras. They're my favorite bosses. All right, get out of here. Go watch the